Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Emilio, and I'm also off the wagon, dude. I'm out of control over here, Bobby. I started drinking again. No, I had a couple drinks on Thanksgiving because I was bored.
But I always forget off the wagon versus on the wagon.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's you fall off the wagon is when
on the wagon is when you're sober.
Yes,
because it's the water wagon.
Oh, I don't know.
Or so I've heard.
No, I don't.
Well, this is like a Seinfeld bit here that we're doing.
We're gonna find out, right? Water wagon. He Googles water wagon, and he thinks that it's gonna come up. Okay. So how was your Thanksgiving? Did you go to your pops?
It was busy. So we did both of the Thanksgivings with my girlfriend's family and with mine. Yeah. Very different, you know. It was pretty much dinner with her parents over at hers, and then we went over to mine, and it's just like a ton of people.
You would think that the white versus the Mexican would be the other way around. You know?
Yeah, you'd think so. It must be the Italian on my side, dude. It's that big family.
Did she move away from her family?
No.
Or they just don't breed much, I guess.
Yeah, they just do not propagate, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting.
So Thanksgiving, man. It was nice to have a week off. I actually got a good amount of gaming in, which was good. Not as much as I was hoping, but God, I'm dreading going back to work next week.
You know, at some point today I was like, man, am I hitting a gaming slump here? I'm like, clicking around, can't really find anything, but I got knocked right out of that, right back into. I'm right back on the gaming wagon, I guess. I'm so confused.
Oh my God. All right. Well, let's talk about some games that came to our attention recently on the radar. Looks like you've got a few here. So let's start off with one of yours, Magic 3D.
Not a game, a program. And a little bit, I'm even more validated. For years, Bobby, I've been saying that we're going to get to this place where you can just talk to a computer and make a game. This is a step into that direction. So this is from Nvidia, and it's a paper and a program that they started on. But much like the text to art programs, that there's a whole bunch of them now. I can't think of the one that I use. There's one called Stable Diffusion and Mid-Journey. That's the one that I use. Now Nvidia took that, and Google did it first. And now it looks like NVIDIA has improved on it. You can make a 3D model with just text. So right here, we're looking at some 3D models, and they are rendered with just a few words, like a baby bunny on a stack of pancakes. And the render comes up. I think it takes a while, though. It's not very quick. And then once it's built, just kind of like Mid-Journey, you can edit it really quick. So you can turn the bunny into a metal bunny and then a stack of broccoli just by changing those words. Those things happen quickly. The first model happens late or takes a long time. But anyway, I think this is great for indie developers that need assets. I don't know how much it's going to be to license this or whatever the fuck, but
Is that how they're marketing it, like towards developers?
I don't know if they're even. I don't think there's a market yet. There's nothing you can buy yet. This is something that they're working on, but it seems to work. But yeah, I think it'll be something that you pay to get access to, just like the other ones. You pay a monthly subscription or whatever. Yeah. But I also think it's very cool for people with 3D printers and like what do you call it? D&D game going on. You can literally make anything. It's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of uses for that.
Yeah, for sure.
The future is getting crazy.
It is, man, and it's building on itself. Like we started with the AAI stuff, and then we got the art stuff, and now we're getting it. It's going to get faster and faster. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I also I found a couple games I had these on my wish list. Autumn sale started. I said, what on my wish list am I going to buy? Rounds is a funny little game. It's a one-on-one game where you play as these little happy faces, and you're kind of like it's kind of like duck game, I guess. You're on platforms that are moving around, and you're trying not to fall into the abyss, and you're shooting each other. But it's also a roguelike deck builder. So every time you lose, you get a new card in your deck, and the winner does not. So it kind of levels itself out towards the end. By the fifth round, it should be a lot more fair, I guess, because there's a handicap going to the loser every time. So I thought that was pretty cool, really cool. For $3, I'm like, why not? God, I hope it's online. I didn't even check. Is it online PvP? Yeah, and shared screen. So that's good. I'm also buying. I forgot to buy it. God damn it. There was for Black Friday, there was an additional 20% off all refurbished stuff. So I was gonna get another PlayStation 5 controller. I don't think I clicked fucking buy. I do that a lot. I put things in my fucking cart, and I'm like, yeah, and then I just leave it there, and then the sale's over. Yeah.
Damn. So this game is like a PvP platformer.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the roguelike element.
So there's 5 rounds, right? You fight each other. I think it's like Duck Game. Do you remember Duck Game?
I didn't play a lot of that. I didn't
Okay.
get Duck Game. I know that was kind of a little hit back in the day, but I didn't.
Or Joust. Not Joust.
Yeah, I feel like all these games are like
Nidhogg.
derivative
Nidhogg.
of Joust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Nidhogg.
Yeah, you just shoot each other until somebody
Yeah.
dies.
So there's multiple rounds. Each round you get an upgrade.
Only the loser gets an upgrade.
Well, the loser gets an upgrade.
Yeah.
So it tries to balance.
It tries to balance things out, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm seeing like 2v2 combat here.
That's all it is.
Oh.
Yep. 2v2. So like Nidhogg.
I don't like it.
Okay.
It's only $3 though.
Yeah. It's overwhelmingly positive with 11,000 reviews.
All right. How many people are playing this game? If you scroll down, let's see what kind of player base. 711. Okay.
That's something.
All right. Cool.
I think a lot of people just bought it and they left it there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's very similar to another game I'm going to talk about. Back in 2017, everybody fell in love with this game called Battle Right and then immediately forgot about it.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember Battle Right. It's a game that I constantly remember but always forget the name of. Every time I want to bring it up on the podcast, I don't because I can't remember the name. It was a MOBA, but it was just a brawler. You just go out there and you fight, and it's like 4v4, 2v2. I think you can do like free-for-alls and stuff. So there's another game coming out that's very similar to this called Fang. It's free to play. It's coming out November 30th, and it looks good. Battle Right didn't have the greatest graphics. It had pretty good characters. This one not only has characters with specific abilities, but you upgrade them in different ways. So you can kind of kit out your character for a different play style. It could be good, but I don't know if it's going to get a lot of players, and that's what you really need. I looked up Battle Right just to see how many people were still playing it. It's like 100, 200 people on average.
I watched a YouTube video. It was like a mini documentary for 12 minutes explaining what happened to Battle Right and what.
There's a story there, and I can't remember what it was. Do you know?
No, it's like it was really popular, and then I think all the MOBAs came out, and it just kind of fell behind.
Well, I mean, it was 2017. There were
something
plenty
like
of
that.
MOBAs out there.
I don't remember.
I mean, I remember a lot of people playing this in between rounds of HOTS when I would watch HOTS streams. Like, it was just a quick, fun, fast-paced game, and people loved it. It was $20. It came out in early access. Everybody bought it. But then there was something. I feel like there's something happened, but everybody just stopped playing it all of a sudden.
It looks
The game
so
just
similar,
died.
dude.
Yeah, it looks so similar to this new one coming out called Fang. And that's why I'm a little bit worried. Like, maybe people just are not interested in this type of game. It's really difficult. I always say this. It's difficult to make a game that relies on a big player base. So, I don't know. Hopefully it works out, but I'll be checking it out. I mean, it's free to play. Why not?
That's why I fucking hate when they come out with 6 different play battle types, capture the flag, and you're just splitting your audience.
Yeah, it splits the community. It's tough to
and
do
it's
that.
so hard to fucking gain one in the first place. Yeah. They'll start listening one day, Bobby.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
And then lastly on my radar, and what I also purchased just right now, right before I walked in here, was Dwarve. Weird name, weird game. It's a dungeon crawler. where it's tower defense as well. It's action tower defense. So you swing a sword, but you're also putting down turrets, and you are exploring a dungeon. So as you go through the dungeon, as the dungeon crawler goes, you upgrade, you get better turrets. But unlike most tower defense, you're not protecting your castle or energy orb or anything. You're proactively moving forward through a dungeon. So I've never played a game like that. I'm not sure a game like that has ever existed.
So you're on the offense.
Yeah, you've been on the offense.
It's a tower offense game.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Graphics are cutesy. Could be a little better, but we'll see. Funny thing on the reviews, Chris, I think it's 72%, but then recent reviews are 95%, which is interesting. So I don't know if it's only 20 reviews, but maybe they patched it or just the people that bought it recently. It's only 20, so it's hard to really put anything on it.
Yeah, we should also mention something's happening with Grounded, right? Did that hit a 1.0 release or something's going on with that? I know a lot of people are playing and talking about that game recently.
Yeah, I think it was 3 weeks ago or something. And it's been on the back of my mind and I've been wanting to do it. And I tried to get a game this weekend, but Sniper stood me up. So that didn't happen. Actually, I stood him up, or he stood me up, and then I stood him up pretty much for Andor, which if you haven't watched, go fucking watch it. It's incredible. Yeah, so I remember me, you, and...
I never played this game.
Oh.
No, I remember you and
JP Diddy and John, one other person. I don't know who
and somebody
it was.
else played the hell out of this game when it came out in early access. You guys pretty much saturated all the content.
Yeah.
And then we're done with it.
Yep.
But I guess it's hit its 1.0. There's a lot more there to do. I hate crafting survival games, but this one seems like it has a story, objectives,
totally
a direction. And
totally
it doesn't look like ass, which that's honestly my biggest problem with a lot of these crafting survival games. Are just poorly made, or at least the ones I used to play. Like the combat is terrible. The hitboxes are way off. It looks horrible. It's janky as hell, like when you play multiplayer. So this one looks like more of a AAA type thing. Plus, it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, and has a toggle that I've never seen in a game, although people mod it in sometimes. There's an arachnophobia toggle. So if you have it, you click it because the fucking spiders are so goddamn scary in this. Go ahead, Chris.
What does it turn them into?
I know we talked about this before, but what does it toggle them into? Like a squirrel or something else?
I have no idea. I ain't a bitch, so I don't know. But in Skyrim, that was one of the first mods I ever saw. I remember reading the article in PC Gamer that somebody had modded teddy bears into them to replace the spiders. Some people can't handle spiders, man.
Spiders are scary.
Yeah.
All
King
right.
Tehran, thank you for the sub. He came to he's on the Discord now.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Live.
That's where it's at, man.
Yep.
All right.
Dude, he's going to be outside my fucking house, dude. It's like, slow down. Stay on YouTube. That's what I'm talking about, okay?
Smajeff also. Thank you, man.
Smajeff. 32 months. Happy holidays.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's talk about some games that we have played. I pulled a wild card this week, man. I played One Finger Death Punch 2.
Off my account?
Yeah, off your account. I didn't spend the $3 to buy it on sale. So I'm that cheap. Okay, first of all, I hate the name. One Finger Death Punch 2.
Yeah.
I mean, just call it Two Finger Death Punch. The first one was One Finger Death Punch. I played the hell
and
out
it's
of that
not,
game.
by the way.
No, it's Two Fingers.
Yeah, it's Two Fingers.
Yeah, it's Two Fingers. So this, it's been so long and it's such an old game that it probably needs an explanation. This game is like Guitar Hero, where it gives you the illusion that you're doing incredible things, but all you are doing is clicking the left and right mouse button.
But don't be confused. Music isn't part of this.
No, it's not a rhythm game.
It's not
really.
a rhythm game.
So you play a stick figure who just stands at the center of the screen. Enemies come at you from the left and the right, and when they get close, you right-click to kill the one on the right and left-click to kill the one on the left. It's very simple. You have some enemies that have like combos to them, like you have to they'll block or they'll jump to the other side, so maybe they require a few hits or they switch sides after the first hit. It gets a little complicated, but overall it's a very simple game that visually looks like it's very complicated. There's a lot of action. There's things flying around on the screen. It's very fast paced, and it's just a nonstop adrenaline rush. It's super fun. The rounds are just a couple minutes long. The first one was just absolutely stellar, and I think it got a lot of notoriety. I think like Total Biscuit played it and got it a lot of attention, so a lot of people checked it out. The sequel came out not too long afterwards, and I didn't play it up until now, I had realized. So I wanted to check it out. And it's been so long since I played the first one, I can't really remember what that was like. So I can't speak on the exact differences, but I feel like this one's just a little bit easier. At least the grading, like they give you, like you can earn up to 5 stars on each level. And I feel like it's easier to get 5 stars on these ones. They also have like a skill tree that you can build up as you progress through it. It's a great game. I don't know how long you could spend doing this, but it's something I just love to fire up. Like when I only got a few minutes or if I'm in between something, like it's just a fantastic game.
I played so much of this, dude. Like there's like, a world map that you have to get through to get to the next world map. And
it's big.
I did completionist, 5-star everything for multiple maps. So like 4 maps in, like a lot. And then I just got burnt out. But, there's a ton of content here. But is it really content?
It's very repetitive.
Yeah. It's very repetitive. There's ones where you have to kill certain amount in certain amount of time. There's ones where you can't get hit. There's, every variation on this tried and true method that this company has come up with. But credit to them, man. Like, it is fun. And I feel like this is one of those games that somebody can walk by and be like, what the fuck is that, and then walk away with a headache after 2 minutes.
It looks awesome. I mean, the guy just does, as you're right clicking and left clicking to take out these guys, your character is doing just like these action movie kung fu moves to take them out, and it looks really cool. I gotta say, I did not like the soundtrack on this. It sounded very generic. It was kind of like electronic music, didn't really fit the kung fu vibe.
They had a $3 budget, Bobby. They had a $3 budget.
It's $3 now, but yeah, it really sounds like they got some royalty free music. It just doesn't really sound good or fit very well, in my opinion. But I mean, that's just a minor complaint on an otherwise great game.
If I remember right, the boss fights are new.
Yeah, the boss fights are something that I don't remember from the first one. Like you square off with one guy and then you have to do certain combos to take him out.
He jumps on either side of you a lot, so you have to really be on top of it.
Yeah, and there's also kind of like a quick time event, which I hate those so much. Character comes, you have to mash the right or the left button. Yeah, there's a lot of different things, but overall, it feels very simple. But I think that's what you want from a game, like something that's simple to learn but difficult to master. And it really is just so fast paced that you feel like on edge the whole time you're playing it.
So, how much do you guys think this game made in revenue, if you're just to throw out a number, since 2019?
I've got to imagine that
it's got 3,300 reviews.
I got to imagine 75% of their sales is on Steam, right? But I don't know this for sure. I mean, they could be on
just on Steam. Let's stick to Steam for sure.
I don't know how much did it come out for? Like $7 originally?
It's
there's a demo, by the way, guys. If you want to try it out.
Yeah. I can't read what that says. That's $8.99 Canadian.
Yeah. So $5.99 maybe.
Yeah.
So like $6.
I don't know. I would say.
Oh, you can find out.
Yeah, you can do the historic price of a game.
I thought you meant you can find out the revenue.
I mean, do you have the answer to this question, Christian? Is that why
you're
quizzing us? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea, man. I'm gonna say less than 100K.
Yeah, I was like in revenue. Oh, revenue. 250,000.
250,000. Okay. It looks like it was released at about $6.99 US. So VG Insights, this website we kind of use to gauge different games.
Public information here, or is this?
No, this is public information. Anyone can use this website. They have a formula that they use based on the number of reviews and like comments and followers and stuff. This is an estimation.
Oh, it's an estimation. So it's VG Insights.
Yeah, VGinsights.com. $624,000 in gross revenue since 2019.
That's
Do you?
I think that's a huge success because
Yes.
some guys in. I imagine it was a very small team, 3, 4, 5 guys.
Yeah. Well, what about the first one? I feel like the first one did better. One Finger Death Punch.
We're gonna have to do this. I like this game. We got to do this on every game now.
Oh, 2.5 mil.
Wow.
But this has been out since 2014, so it's got like a way longer shelf life.
But
but it's also
spiked.
$1. It's also sells for $1 now, and nobody's picking this one up. And I think this it probably appeared in a bunch of bundles and stuff like that too. So yeah, I think this one really blew up, and the second one didn't have quite the same. It's so
Even though
strange.
it's a better game, it's
It
just it's a
technically
weird thing.
is. It's weird how that happens. The same thing happened with oh God, why am I blanking on the name? Darkest Dungeon 2. Sequel came out. The first one was amazing. Couldn't wait for the sequel. They were trying something different.
I don't even remember. That came out?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it came out. It's been out for a while.
You played it?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it didn't come out close enough to the first one, but
What how are the views on that, Chris? Darkest Dungeon 2?
Darkest Dungeon is
No, just the
60
reviews.
million
Well, it doesn't matter.
is the estimated gross revenue. Yeah. I think it might have been an exclusive to Epic too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
no
what
data.
fucked
It
them.
must still be on Epic.
Yeah.
Okay.
How was the reviews on Metascore? That's what it was. It's like the game doesn't really come out until it comes out,
Till it's on Steam.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't been released on Steam yet. That seems strange.
It's a really good strategy to release a game on Epic as kind of an early access run. Get the money from Epic to continue development, get feedback from players who are like really interested in your game. And then after all the bugs are fixed, just release it on Steam because it's the biggest platform and that rating matters so much if people pick it up. There's no Metascore yet, so it's still in early access, it looks like.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, am I completely wrong here? This game didn't come out yet? I could have
I
swore
don't
it
think
did.
this game is out, dude. I mean, there's a few reviews. 26 negative. Yeah.
Full version of the game is set to be released on February 2023. Okay, so it's only been in beta.
Yeah. I guess so. All right.
All right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better then.
I played a bunch of games this week. I played Half-Life Alyx just now for about 2.5 hours straight. I've played it on the index a little bit, just kind of fucking around, but haven't played. Today was the first time I've played. And it's one of the best gaming experiences possible, I think. It's incredible. Like, it's not, you could trust Valve not to come up with a gimmick and just rest on that gimmick for the whole game. They'll use it throughout, but then they'll think of very clever ways for you to use the tools that they've given you for the game. That's what they did in Half-Life 2, and that's what they do here. So, they don't just rely on your, what do you call it? You have these gravity gloves where you can like whip things at yourself, which is so fucking satisfying. I think they're trying to keep you from having to teleport everywhere. They're like, how can we keep people, because it's so jarring when you're teleporting around. So they just give you these whips, these like virtual whips, and you just, anything you see that you want, you just whip it towards yourself, you catch it, you put it in your backpack, you can hear it go in your backpack. Whenever you need something, you just reach back there and it knows what you want. There's only 2 things you can have in your backpack, but it knows which one you want at any one time. Hacking things is just so fucking cool, man. You have this multi-tool and you connect it to, it's kind of like the thing that R2-D2 has, the little robo dick, and you stick it in the hole, and then this like 3D model of a puzzle comes out, and then it's so inventive, the things that you have to do with these like, it looks like AR in VR. That's exactly what it looks like, because it's like fake things that aren't in the real game world, but it's just trying to show you like where the electrical cables are in the wall. You can see the outline through the wall, and then you can switch things to try to get the current going where you want it to go, or you'll just have a ball in your left hand of energy, and then you'll have like, I don't know, your multi-tool stuck to it, and then it's like a 3D map that you have to figure out the like puzzle to. I know it doesn't make any sense here because these things don't.
Maybe you could look it up. Maybe they got it on YouTube, Christian.
Yeah, like
the Half-Life or Alex VR hacking minigame.
Yeah, and they're not that. I haven't run into the same. You know, I've only played for 2.5 hours, but I haven't run into the same one twice. So they change them. There's one coming up right there, right after that same scene you were just looking at, right after he kills. Not those ones to the right in there. There's one in there to get that machine working. There's a tool they're gonna have to use. See if you can fast forward a little bit. Yep. Keep going.
Okay, this is super exciting.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to show it in the gameplay trailer.
Yeah. Anyway, it's very cool. It's like 3D puzzles, 3D light show puzzles.
Dude, the history of hacking mini games in video games is so interesting to me. Like, there's so many games have them, and so many games go about them in completely different ways.
Yeah, but you know, this one can cheat because it can do things like this, where that was like a little map. He fucked up right there. He's trying to get the laser through the red laser maze to connect to the other blue side while those things are all moving around. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's fucking so sweet, man. And just a bunch of stuff like this. You know, you're in this dark, dingy fucking the atmosphere is just insane. Just the rubble looks so good and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you're in this then you're doing something like this, and it pulls you out of that other thing, but not in a bad way. It just keeps everything fresh, man. I just really like it. This guy's getting really frustrated. He's hitting the machine, but yeah, fucking awesome. Everything about it is awesome. The shooting's fun. There's not other than these. There's no real puzzles like there was that I've run into. There's not a lot of. In Half-Life 2 there was a lot of like physics puzzles, like throw this over there to make you go up and stuff like that. It's less of that here. You have to move some boxes around to get up a high, maybe once so far. But yeah, it's more about this kind of stuff. Anyway, it's awesome. I can't wait to keep playing it. I want to play it tonight, actually.
Dude, I can't wait to see this guy solve this puzzle, dude. He's been at it for a minute.
It looks really hard.
Have you done this one before?
No.
Oh, dude. I know this is not exciting to listen to, but like visually, I'm just like, oh my God, like, come on, bro. Oh, he's messed up. All right, forget it. He failed again. Get him out of here. Oh, dude, why would you put that on YouTube? Oh my God. All right.
A lot of people like watching people get frustrated. Next game that we played together, right, Bobby?
Did we?
Phasmophobia? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh, yeah, we did play Phasmophobia. Okay. Yeah.
God, I'm so forgettable.
You jumped on for like one or two games that we played at the end, and those were actually really good games. We played with Nick, who's not here today. But yeah, I finally played Phasmophobia. Played a good amount of it too, and because I played with Nick and his wife Leslie, they're very, very experienced and they know exactly what to do. So there wasn't a lot of figuring stuff out, but it is a very difficult game if you don't know what you're doing. First of all, it is incredibly dark. Like, this game uses darkness like Deep Rock does. It's a mechanic in the game. If you don't have your flashlight, things are just pitch black unless you rub your nose up against a wall. Then maybe you can see what's on the wall, like a light switch or something. But I don't know, man. I might have to turn up the gamma or something because it is just pitch black. And then when you have a flashlight, you get a little circle of light, but that's about it. I think that's on purpose to make the game scary.
Yeah.
And the game is pretty scary, man. It'll make you jump.
For sure. And not just jump scares, but also just atmospheric creepiness.
Yeah. It's a creepy game. And I don't know if I've seen a game that has used audio in such an interesting way.
I want to give credit to their originality on this game. Like, there is nothing like this anywhere. I don't think.
Well, I'm glad I played it at this point. I imagine it was a lot rougher when it first came out a little over a year ago. And I feel like the game is in a good spot. First of all, it looks terrible. The character animations and just the graphics in general are really bad. I would love to see, I would love to see a game like this that was a little more high fidelity. I think that would add so much to the fear factor, even though it is pretty scary. But it, the characters move so stiffly. Like when you see them walking around, it looks just kind of comical and ridiculous.
And not just that, but like okay, so your body does not cast a shadow, but the things you're holding cast shadows. So people behind you that are flashing their flashlight, you'll just see shadows of the things you're holding on the wall, and you're like, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" And I was literally jumping at shadows.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
the,
dude! I saw a fan and I was like, "Oh my god!" It was just like a fan. But
it was just like a fan.
But this game, I can imagine just figuring this game out on my own, because I'd be in a house and Nick would say like, "Oh, here's a music box. This will, like, if we take it, we can trigger the ghost with this." I'm like, "What music? What are you looking at?" And he's like, "This right here." I'm like, "That fucking pixel right there? Like, how did you even see that?" First of all, like, I guess you got to know what to look for, and then eventually you see it. But it's like pitch black. You can't see anything. And then like the things that you do need are super small, and so the ghost will like mess with you too, and you can kind of locate where it is. It'll turn on the TV, it'll throw things, it'll turn lights on and off. I didn't notice hardly any of that. Like Leslie and Nick would say like, "Oh, the ghost threw a book or something." What? Where? I didn't hear or see anything. Like, it's just the fidelity is so like the game is, the graphics wise, it looks like something from like 2005. So it just, and it has that kind of game feel to it, like the way that it feels like an engine from 2005. It just feels really clunky in a lot of ways, and it's hard for me to really notice what the hell is even happening. But they played so much that I guess like they've kind of picked up on it. Plus, the houses are the same, so you kind of know where to go and what to do.
You start to understand the language of the game after playing. So
yeah,
much,
yeah, and because after playing it for a few days, I kind of got my roll down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this gear. I'm going to go in. I'm going to scan for this. I'm going to do this. And then once we find the ghost, then, we run back and we set things up. And I noticed too that when I was playing with them, this is kind of just like a different gaming style. I'm like pretty quick and to the point. I'm like, okay, we've located the ghost. Let's go get the gear. Let's set it up. Let's do this. And I don't know. Sometimes you play and people are more like, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? They're like a little more YouTuber-y about it. Like they're kind of taking it all in and taking it in stride. And I'm just like, all right, let's get this done. Let's go. Let's complete the objectives.
Sounds like you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, because you kind of are on a timer on this game. You have sanity that's slowly creeping away. And when it runs out, the ghost can hunt you. And I still don't really know how the hunts work. Like, all I know is just I hear a whisper and the lights flicker. And
I know how they work. You pucker your butthole is how they work, man.
They're very scary. But I like hear that, and then all of a sudden, like, I never see the ghost. Like,
really?
Nick will be like, "Oh, the ghost is right there," and he'll like snap a picture of it, and I'm just like, "What?" Like, I don't know. I'm just so oblivious in this game. Like, I feel like it's just like visually, I don't understand what's happening.
Oh, dude. So when I can't really add to anything you said. I could just talk about my fucking experience, because I came in late and I played maybe 3 games with you guys, but they went really well. Like, we just fucking smoked
and that
them.
last one we played a big map. It was out of school, and that one, even though
Nick was right, we should have split up.
Yeah, no one knew where they were going though. I got lost so many times.
I feel like I kind of knew what was going on. I was seeing stuff. I was seeing things getting thrown around, and I knew where I was too.
We had a really tough time locating the ghost in that one. We thought he was in an area.
Well, it moved.
I guess it moved. Yeah, I died on that one, but everyone else made it out.
Yeah, you would die. I saw you die, dude. I was like, Bobby's dead. Run, run. But yeah, like, so first of all, the controls are not intuitive, and
oh my god,
right?
Yeah, okay. So the controls, but okay, here's the biggest problem. I'm really shitting on this game right now, but I actually did enjoy it.
It's a really good game. Well,
I really liked it. I like playing with Nick. I don't know. I did play one, like half a game with randos. Did not go well, but
the core game mechanics are so good that you just kind of, none of what Bobby is saying matters.
And it's effectively scary. Like, it is a really good, I love co-op games. It's a good co-op game, and it's a good horror game. But the biggest problem with this game is the inventory and the UI surrounding the inventory. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. So you have to buy gear, and then you put that gear into like a group equipment list. And then if you die, you lose that gear, but that's like for everybody to use. That's what comes along with you on the journey. So as you complete these missions, you make money, you can buy gear, and you can stockpile them yourself, but then you can say like, oh, I want to add 2 flashlights to this or 1 video camera. Like I'll chip in and help out here.
Right.
And if everyone's broke, like maybe you have to put in more of the money. But accomplishing this with their inventory management system is like, I don't get it, dude. Like I click a bunch of buttons and then I look at the group inventory. I'm like, okay, well, we got what we need somehow. We did it. I don't know how, dude. I just hit like the plus button and then like apparently it worked.
Nick said that you highlight everything you want to pitch in, then you click add, and then I think it adds it to the van, right?
You have to hit oh God, this is going to be, I'm so sorry about this. You have to like select the thing, you have to hit plus, then you have to buy it, and then you have to select it again, and then you have to add it. And on the side of the screen, it'll tell you like, it'll have a number and then a slash and another number. The number on the left,
Right.
I think, is what
You
you have, and the one on the right is what you're putting in.
Oh.
And then you have to switch over to the other screen that shows the group inventory. It's
I
as
think
complicated and boring as I'm making it sound.
I think it also they probably had to. I'm not justifying what they said, but I think because it's a VR game as well, they have to make it VR friendly. And I don't know if maybe that's the easiest way they figured out how to do it on there.
No, definitely
You know?
not. There's easier ways to do this, and it's not that hard. Like I could fix this in like 5 minutes. Well, I mean,
What did you like about the game, Bobby? What did you enjoy?
I like that it was really scary. I liked the
Yeah.
co-op aspect, and I liked.
It's pretty original, dude. What you have
It
to
is
do.
it's
the
an original
detective
idea.
work.
But going back to what I was saying earlier, like I've never,
Well, but first, before I compliment it,
no,
let
I'm
me
going
shit
back.
on it a little more.
I opened with a compliment.
Okay.
I've never seen a game use audio quite like this. So if you talk on the mic, everybody
explain
can
it,
hear you
Bobby,
around
that
you. It's
You have to use the in-game audio.
Yeah, you have to use the in-game audio. So when you talk, people around you can hear. Now, if you're in another room, you hear the person, but they're kind of muffled. They're like, "Ruff, ruff, ruff." Now, if you press B, I think it is, you can use your radio and you can use that. As soon as someone dies, they're cut off. Like you can't, like maybe you heard them like yell or something, but as soon as they die, you can't hear them
Mid
at all.
talk, like
Yeah, they just get cut off.
fucking. There's something.
Yeah. But the problem is if you're talking, the ghost can hear you. Like you have a mic, the ghost can always hear you, and it gives you away your position and makes them aggro you. And it's kind of like a bold step for a game to do this, to rely so heavily on a microphone. And they say at the beginning of the game when it's loading, you need a microphone. We recommend headphones as well to get the full experience. And when you start like boxing yourself in like that, like restricting it to people who only have this type of to have this hardware. Now, granted, it is 2022. Almost everybody has a microphone on their computer, but still, like,
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Come on. Everybody's on Zoom. People are going to school.
yeah. But then there's a lot of people who just don't feel comfortable using a microphone. Like, it's a
Yeah, those people can go fuck themselves.
Well, yeah, but if you're a developer, you want to make your game as accessible to as
Right.
many people as possible. Like, you just want a wide surface for that. But the game has been incredibly successful despite that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think, and that's because it is like a really unique and great game. They did a lot of things really well here, except that inventory UI.
All right, let me get to my my few little stories I gotta tell on this one. So you can about the ghost hearing you. You can communicate with the ghost. So you can once you find out its name. Sometimes do you always know its name before you go in the house?
Yeah, it tells you in the van.
Okay, so you once you find the ghost because paranormal activity is happening at that area, you can just be like, "Sniper, where are you? Sniper the ghost, where are you? Like, Sniper, please show me a sign." And then like some shit will fly across the room, and you're like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck."
No, they have to respond with audio to you.
No, you can say, "Show me a sign," and they'll do things in the room. They did it right in front of me.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that stuff just happens randomly anyway. Like they'll throw
Oh.
stuff around. But when you use it's called the spirit box, where you can communicate with the dead. Like you only check the box. See, this is the part that I was missing from this game. Like they really needed a good introductory, or maybe like Nick could have explained it a little bit better. But like you go in, you have to, and your main objective is to figure out what type of ghost is it. So you have like these little check boxes. Does it respond to the spirit box? If it does, check it. If it doesn't, you cross it off. Is there the orbs, the little floating orbs? Like, so you're basically like checking things off a list and then using that to determine what type of ghost this is.
And that's what you're there for.
Yeah, that's your main
That's it.
objective. There's a few other ones. So the plan is you go in there, you bring as much gear as you can, you locate where the ghost is, you set up equipment to kind of test and see what it responds to, and then you make an educated guess there. But the spirit box, it's only a positive if they respond with audio to you, which is really hard to hear too. Again, like if you're talking, you could just easily miss it. And I did many times. Like Nick was like, oh, we got a positive on that. And I was like, what? You heard something that I didn't? He's like, oh yeah, you didn't hear the ghost say
Pretty
like,
sure you're wrong, Bobby. You can just talk to it with no spirit box, and it'll do things.
Yeah, you can. And
Yeah.
some spirits are aggroed when you do.
Yeah,
I've only
no,
played
no,
a
you
little bit
can't.
of
That's
this
not-
game, but
I didn't say you can't. But what I'm saying is the spirit box in your little checklist of what type
Yeah.
of ghost is this, there's something that says spirit box. And if you talk into the spirit box and say, hey, who are you? Or, what are you doing here? Ask it a bunch of questions and it responds, then you check the box for the spirit box.
Right.
You don't, there's
Yeah.
no other way where you check that
Oh,
box.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you can just talk to it.
So because of this shitty fucking UI or inventory management or whatever, and me being fucking so scared. See, we blew through the first two, so I was like, this game is not really that scary. Then the third one, the fucking high school, just like Bobby said, it's fucking pitch black. And so if you accidentally start dropping your flashlight, which I did many times, you're fucked. You're in an abyss of
Yeah.
darkness.
Can't find it anywhere.
You can't find it anywhere. And
Well, and here's the problem too, dude. Like I think it was the mission before that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try a new strat here. I'm not gonna take a flashlight. I'm gonna load up on other stuff so we don't have to make as many trips. Once
Yeah.
we find the ghost, we'll just set all this stuff up and I'll just use other people's flashlights to see my way around. Did not work at all. Like unless they were looking right at me and
Yeah.
I could see the white circle, I could not tell where I was going.
you gotta let everybody know that you're gonna do that strat. Didn't
I did. Well, we didn't have
Yeah.
enough flashlights. We forgot because of we couldn't. I don't know. Maybe we skipped it or we couldn't figure out the inventory or something. But we only
Oh,
brought
yeah, we didn't
3
have enough.
flashlights. Yeah.
3 flashlights on a ghost hunt?
Yeah,
Leslie says, Nicholas, we have a problem here. Like,
yeah. And like a tip that they did give us, which was really helpful, is never buy glow sticks and never buy the cheap flashlight. So we're using the good, strong flashlight. Apparently, there's a cheap one that's pretty much almost doesn't do anything. Like.
and it breaks, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even the strong flashlight, I'm like, this is the strong one, dude. Like, it gives me like a circle of light. You know, I have like a 34-inch monitor, and then I've got like a 3-inch circle
Yeah.
that I can see on my screen.
So when the hunt happens, that's when it goes into, dangerous mode, or it's going to kill somebody or try to kill somebody. You turn off your flashlight, your little ray of sunshine, the only thing keeping you sane. You turn it off and you try to hide behind in a dark, even darker spot. And you try not to talk or even breathe loud because it can pick up on your mic. So you'll hear footsteps and maybe see glowing. And that is the scariest part, dude. It's like little girl laughter, like la, 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 la. And then the footsteps are like, tuku, 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 tuku.
Yeah.
And then I was under the stairwell. I didn't know if it was walking right up to my face or going up the stairs that I was under. But I was shitting my pants right there in the darkness looking at a black screen. Terrifying. Oh, and my flashlight was gone. Oh, and then Bobby got killed right after that. And Nick's like, we got to take a picture for the insurance money. And I was like, I have a camera. I don't have a flashlight. Can you please come get me with your flashlight and then shine a light on Bobby's body? And he was able to do that. And he found me and we got out of there. But yeah, fun times, good stuff. I almost feel like no negative on Nick and stuff, but it's like he's so good at it. I feel like if we're not getting the full the full thing,
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I feel the same way. Like he's so good at it that like we're being carried a little bit, not getting the full experience. However, I don't know if I want the full experience, man. Like I would never figure this stuff
Yeah,
out. Like I guess I
it's
would have
true.
to look online or something. 'Cause I would never find a music box or like know that like, oh, that's the ghost mirror or whatever. And I don't know.
Mila would not leave me alone after she saw me playing this. She was like, what's it like? What? Because we stopped playing it. She's like, can you show me? And I was like, it's so hard to explain. Let me just go on YouTube and show you. And we're watching some of the like jump scares. The fucking ghosts are fucking scary, dude. And there's a bunch of different ones, all kinds of weird shit.
Can we go back to the roadmap? I do want to see that, the 2022 roadmap. Yeah,
Sorry, a lot of that has been either canceled, completed, or moved into 2023. So I was just trying to find an updated one.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's a great fucking game.
Yeah,
Really
and
good.
you know, I'm glad that I got it because we've got people that play it so much. It's a good investment. You know, I hate buying a game, playing it for 2 weeks, and then never touching it again in my life. But this one, I'm sure there's going to be nights where we all hop on and play a little bit of this.
Sniper, have you
I'll-
played it?
Yeah, I have. I had a different experience because I was playing with people who had never played before, and
Oh.
yeah, we were completely lost. I mean, we tried to look up guides and patch stuff together, but mostly we just died and ran out of money, and then we were like, "Well, this isn't fun."
Yeah, yeah.
But
When the game
you
first
need like a Sherpa. You need someone who's like deep into the knowledge, deep into the sauce, guiding you. I think, yeah.
when the game first came out, I remember watching a Twitch stream, and I thought that this just looks so boring. They're like running around, and you know they're being like YouTubery, like kind of overacting a little bit, and they're just like talking into the spirit box, and I had no idea like what was happening, what they were doing, what they were working towards. Like it was just, it was not very clear to me, and I don't know.
It's kind of
Apparently,
real.
like I'm, you know, on the outside on this one because this game like blew up like crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, I know we've already done numbers once, and I will try not to shove this in a bunch of times, but 4 people work on this game. Just throw any amount of money you think this game has made,
What was
and
the
it's gonna
original? What was the original cost?
be, let's say $25 on average.
I don't know. Wow.
$11 billion.
A lot of 11 million.
It's 155 million, dude.
Jeez. Good for
4
them.
people on LinkedIn, according to LinkedIn, they have 4 full-time staff. It's
for them.
massive, crazy,
Use some of that money and fucking get some other people, get some textures in there, man. What the fuck?
dude.
Yeah,
It's so
no.
funny on their website. Unfortunately, we are not currently hiring. I'm not judging them. Obviously, they have a good
Yeah.
thing going. They don't want anyone else in their team, or maybe they just don't think they need them. Whatever. They probably have their reasons, but it is kind of funny. Like,
Just don't give the other people any creative license. Just fucking do the grunt work, you know? Fuck, what the fuck?
I want to
All
know
right.
where the AAA version of this game is. How come we haven't got that yet? Of course, you know, then they'd ruin it with like a season pass or loot
Because they're going to have
boxes.
a Bobby in there being like, require microphone. What are you talking about?
Ugh.
buy the Ghost DLC. Yeah, have your ghosts glow 20% more. I don't know. Maybe this is meant to be an indie game. You know?
Yeah. Good on them, man. Again, originality, so many points. Nobody else does this. So good. And the low res, I think, helps Bobby a little bit for the spookiness and stuff. Like you can't tell what things are in the dark and all that stuff. I think it lends to it a little
Yeah,
bit.
but I think there's also a legibility problem. Like it's hard for me to understand what I'm looking at and what I'm doing sometimes.
Okay. I played a Plague Tale Requiem. Finally, probably put 5 or 6 hours into it now. To be honest, I got kind of close to stopping. It is so like the first one. I mean, almost the exact same puzzles going on, using a lot of the same ideas. You know, you snuff out the light to kill the soldier's light, and then the rats eat them, or you light a fire so that you can have a pathway. I mean, it's the exact same thing. Hugo, your little brother who's sick, he is out now, and then you have another little kid coming in to help you. Basically, that's like the big difference. But really, not that much. So, and the other kid, I think his name is Lucas. He keeps critiquing you on your gameplay, man. Because I kept killing guys, right? Because in the first game, there's a lot of moral quandaries that happen, but they're almost like quick time events, and you really don't know that you're going to be judged on them until the end of the game. And then at the end of the game, they're like, "Well, you fucked up here, here, and here, so you're a bad person, and here's the bad ending." And so I'm kind of looking out for that kind of stuff now, and I'm going through these areas, and I'm like, I don't know how I can get through here with stealth. I think I got to kill these dudes. And plus, I don't have fucking 10 days to figure out all these things. I'm just going to kill all these guys. And the little kid's like, oh, man, you really shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, all right, so you're basically telling me that I'm going to get the bad ending if I keep playing. Well, and I'm like, it's a lot of the same thing. I'm already going towards the bad ending. Why should I even keep playing? You know, it really bugged me last night, and I stopped playing. But then I started picking it. I picked it up today, and I kind of leveled off on that. And I talked to Zap, who already beat it, and I was like, dude, like I'm feeling this way, and he's like, no, keep playing. Like it's not what you think. So I'm like, all right. So I'm there. I'm here for the story, basically, at this point, not so much for the gameplay. He says the gameplay does change and get better. So I'm only 5 or 6 hours into it. I'm just a little let down because of how much I like the first one. I will say the graphics for this size studio are impeccable. So fucking good. It even flirts with like photorealism from time to time. And the peasantry and how rough life was back then, it all shines through. Like you can see, or it doesn't shine. It fucking it's gross. Yeah. So it has that going for it. If you haven't played the first one, definitely play the first one. I think you can play it for free. I think it's on Game Pass.
They took it off Game Pass when the second one was released.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure you can get it cheap, especially right now. I highly recommend that game. I tried to give it Game of the Year. And then lastly, Soulstone Survivors. There's not a whole lot we can say more about this game, but John was on vacation and he was having a Steam Deck run that looked insane. He showed me some video of it. And he looked like a fire tornado. You couldn't even see his character anymore. And he was just a fire tornado 100% of the time and just going around. So I felt inspired and I was like, I'm going to try to get a crazy run. And so just came out that my very next run with a brand new character, he's kind of like a battle mage. He had one hand he has magic, the other hand he has a sword. And I made this crazy run where like, what you're looking at here is I'm swinging like 3 different kinds of swords, and what I had, the area effect, I made it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and the multicast I got bigger and bigger and bigger. So eventually my sword swings are taking up the whole screen. I die here in this video, but this game gets fucking crazy. To the point where like you can't see your character sometimes.
Yeah, the YouTube videos I was watching where someone was playing on endless mode and just basically broke the game. The effects were just taking up the entire screen. Couldn't even see the character. Didn't matter. Like he was just demolishing absolutely everything.
I was getting some chugging at this game on my fucking 3080 Ti. This fucking not high res. Just so many effects are going on that started getting drop frames and stuff. It's insane. But yeah, continuing to have fun. There is so much to this game. I haven't even got into the. There's some sort of other skill tree. There's a skill tree, and then there's some other thing.
The runes?
The runes, yeah. And I only have like 1 rune or 2, and there's like 70. So, yeah, there's a ton of game here. I only have half of the characters unlocked, I think. So
you're further along than I am, though.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit. I just installed it on the Steam Deck today, so hopefully I'll get some time to play it at work. Yeah, having a good time with that. Christian, I saw your TikTok.
Oh, you did?
I did. I thought TikTok videos were like limited to on size or length. I mean, is that not a thing?
3 minutes is the max length. I don't know if anyone watches to the end of those because they're meant to be shorter. But yeah, I experimented a bit on TikTok. I just made an account and talked about the Steam Autumn Sale a little bit. It got a good amount of track. I mean, not a huge. It's not super popular. But I started scrolling through and seeing what other people were doing, game roundups and talking about indie games. And there's a huge community of pretty young people, like kids, teenagers, like young adults, that seem to be using TikTok to discover their games. Like probably how some people use this podcast to hear about games. There's people on there whose sole job is to talk about indie titles in like 30 seconds, and they get, 1 million likes and 30 million views, and it's just super accessible. So I was thinking about making us an account and reposting some of our content on there and maybe doing some roundups, just some easier stuff. Nothing really.
Post my Phasmophobia inventory rant on there.
Yeah.
See how many views that gets.
Yeah.
That'd be great,
with a
man.
video of the. What's that?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
What does
we'll
this
see.
game look like to you, Chris?
What's that?
For never have playing this game, what does this game look like to you?
I don't know. This game looks like I mean, I don't want to. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. But
This is not your first game right here. This is like, I'm 16 hours in, I'm playing like this. It doesn't look like this at the beginning, for sure.
Yeah.
Nothing like
Okay.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks bananas. TikTok is over, but what isn't over is our Game of the Year episode. Does anyone have some trumpet noises or light drumming? Perfect. Okay, yeah. So once you hear this episode in Discord, there'll be instructions on how to submit your voice link for your personal Game of the Year. So the game doesn't have to have come out this year. You just had to have discovered it this year. We'll go on the honor system, and we'll play maybe all the clips. Maybe if 100 of you submit your clips, we'll play the best ones, So try to keep it short, try to keep it concise, and we'll play them on our Game of the Year episode.
So we want to know what the best game you played this year, whether it came out this year or not, and why. And you can just leave us a voice recording. Instructions to do that is going to be in our Discord. You can get there by going to dlgaming.net.
I think we also left it open for text last time. We read it off.
We did. Yeah.
We don't have to do it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we could.
We could do that too. If you just want to write in, you can do that on Discord as well.
Yeah,
But,
Bobby,
definitely
try to keep
prefer
this
audio.
accessible for as many different people. We don't want to require people to have microphones.
It has to be 1080p video, 4K video, 60 frames a second.
Yeah. Your mother has to be in the frame, patting you on the back. Nothing else can be submitted.
Microphone required is the episode name, I think.
Yeah, so make sure to do that. Visit our Discord. Let us know what you enjoyed this year and why.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Cool. Well, I think we got a listener question or two here. Quick shout out to the Drill Bit, subscribing for 18 months. Thank you very much, man. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Don't sound too enthusiastic
Sorry,
there.
caught me mid yawn.
Okay. First question comes from Alitom. Between these two anti-hero films, which one is the best, and explain why? Catwoman with Halle Berry or Mobius with Jared Leto?
I did not see either one.
Okay.
Did you?
I saw Catwoman. I unfortunately saw that, but
I'm gonna go with Morbius because I liked the trailer. I was actually sold on the trailer before it came out. So,
really,
yeah,
because that movie is, first of all, Jared Leto, dude. People rag on him a lot, but this movie in particular really got slammed, and you can tell the studio didn't know what to do with it. I mean, it came out in that weird COVID time. I think it got postponed, and then they just kind of threw it out, hoping nobody would complain too much. But yeah, it got a lot of bad feedback. The Catwoman movie with Halle Berry, which came out like in 2000 or 2001. That one is as bad as everyone says. I think, God, I know I watched it recently because it's in my letterbox somewhere. You don't need to watch the whole thing. Just look up the basketball scene from that movie, and that'll give you a good idea what that movie's all about. It's pretty atrocious. I have to imagine that the Morbius movie is better than that one because it was just, it was bizarre. But, it was kind of like so bad it's good territory with the Catwoman movie. So I don't know.
Speaking of superhero movies, I watched Wakanda Forever this weekend, and I watched it in 3D. And just because I took Mila and I was like, fuck it, let's do it in 3D. And it's funny because you're watching the trailers, and things are slightly 3D throughout the whole thing, and you're just like, yeah, this is not the greatest, but I guess it doesn't get in the way of the movie, and it slightly enhances it, so why not? And then the Avatar 2 Way of Water trailer comes on, and that fucking 3D is like in your nose. Like it's all the way, the fucking arrows are in your face, and you're just like, God, shot for 3D and adapted for 3D are completely different things. Completely different things. I would say, I don't know, because you can't really measure these things, but percentage-wise, if the standard movie was coming out 10%, I would say this is like 70% the way to your eyeball. Like it was huge jump, so much better. And the movie itself was very good. Water Mexicans. I was so surprised. It was so strange. Take that for whatever you think that means. Yeah. Very good movie. I cried on the first 10 minutes, because the whole first 10 minutes is a tribute to the actor who died, Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
gotta acknowledge that.
Yeah. And then I went in completely blind. Like, I didn't know about the Water Mexicans. I don't know who becomes Black Panther. Like, I didn't know anything. So it was great.
If I Google Water Mexicans, what's good? Has there been a film in VR, like completely immersive? Because like you see a film in 3D and then you think the next step would be, okay, now you have like limited movement and maybe there's a focal point that you're meant to focus on.
There are, yeah.
They're short films, and Eli Roth, I think a friend of mine just told me about this. He's like, dude, you got to check. It's not like that great, but you should check it out. Eli Roth made like I think it's like a 15-minute movie or something in VR. And there's a couple of them like that. And they're all very short, but they are like VR movies. They're out there.
I guess that takes the cinematography out completely, right?
Yeah, it changes a lot of stuff because with film, you're really directing the viewer's eye by using colors, focus, just all sorts of things. But when you have VR, you can't really control where they look. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, next question from Furion. Been on a DLG cast binge, and something I noticed is that there are a bevy of Jeffs. Any thoughts on your next con being called Jeff Con?
One Jeff has come to our DLG con, right? I don't know. If we get like 5 Jeffs, we're going to have to address it.
It will be addressed. We get 5.
We'll give them Hall J.
Yeah, that'll be the threshold. 5 Jeffs.
I've never met anyone in real life named Jeff.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a Canadian name. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm wary of Jeffs.
I know.
I'm wary of Jeffries who call themselves Jeffs.
Oh man, I know a lot of Jeffs.
I'm wary of the Jeffs, the one that's spelled really weird with a G.
Oh,
yeah, that
Joffrey.
Yeah.
Oh, I did know a Jeff growing up, but it was spelled Geoff.
Yeah.
And I always said Geoff when I was. That's. I don't know if we were bullying. I don't know. We were like 12 or whatever. So whatever.
You are the problem, Chris.
Yeah.
All right. Oh shit, that is our last question.
Here's our roundup of what we talked about this week. Magic 3D was a cool little program. Rounds, a one-on-one game that Bobby does not get. Dwarve, it's an offensive tower. It's a tower offense. There we go. Fangs is a game that came out and didn't do well, that disappeared and somebody's making it again.
MOBA brawler. Like Battle
Arena brawler. Yep. Grounded. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids for 4 players. And then what we actually played was One Finger Death Punch 2. Missed opportunity on the name there, guys. Half-Life Alyx. You know what it is. Phasmophobia. Shit Your Pants in Low Res. And Plague Tale Requiem. Not as good as the first so far. And what are you guys going to be playing?
I don't know. Grounded's a maybe, dude. I don't know because it's at the end of the day, it is a crafting survival game, and those require a lot of time and a lot of build up, and I don't really care to do that.
It's really linear, dude.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. It's
All right.
not like it's not open world even. It's open world ish, but like you're definitely headed towards something. We got to the something.
I think we need to market these games differently to Bobby. We can't call them let's call them ambient puzzle builders. Yeah.
Throw co-op in there, and you got me.
Yeah, co-op ambient puzzle game.
You know, I didn't talk about it, but I played one game of League this week, and I won. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just fucking offlane Nasus, and my team just won somehow. So I don't know. I might play a little bit more of that, see where that game's at. But I don't know, man. We'll see what comes up. I'm back at work next week, so I won't have too much time.
True. Chris, what have you been playing? What are you going to play?
I'm trying to beat Homeworld 2. I beat Homeworld 1 last week. I'm moving on to Homeworld 2. It's been a long time since I played these games, and I'm getting to work on Homeworld 3. So I'm trying to like build my knowledge up of the lore in the universe so I can properly get into it.
Aren't these like 100-hour games?
No. The first one took me maybe 10 or 9
Oh, I was
hours.
way off. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I don't know how long the second one is. I don't remember it being that long. Yeah, 10 hours, which I'm happy with. I'm happy the story part of an RTS, if it lasts for 10 hours, I feel like that's a good length, you know.
Is that an Armada game? Or just like
It was the first, or actually I shouldn't say that. I don't know if it was the first, but it's famous for having an RTS in 3D space.
Yeah.
So the armor values and stuff on different sides of the ships were different, so you could theoretically play the game in this 3D space and have advantages depending where you put your ships. Although it's not really evident as you play it, and it's a little difficult to navigate in 3D, but it is a pretty old game, 6 years old or something now. So
What if you had a ship that had lasers coming out both sides and it spins, dude?
yeah, what if?
What if?
What if? What? I bet people would go pretty wild over that. I think they might like it.
All right. Bobby has no idea what we're talking about. And speaking for Bobby, Christian, and myself, microphone tits. Microphone required tits.
Bobby, don't know about Leprechauns, though. Leprechaun 1 and 2.
He watched Leprechauns instead of Andor.
Yeah, that's true. I did do that.